All right, we are live. Fantastic. I'm so excited to announce publicly here on my timeline in a couple of my groups about an event that's coming up later this month. It is the Basics and Beyond. Right now, one of the most common requested things dealers are asking me about is, John, what do I do to make sure that my people who are in this current economy, current market, this new world we're all in, what do I do to make sure that they're going to set themselves up for success going forward? Well, as you well know, it goes back to the basics, but it's not just the basics. And in this class that's coming up later this month, August 24th and 26th, I'm going to be talking about beyond the basics, right? The basics and beyond. What does a person need to do to establish themselves for long-term sustainable success in the car business right now? And in this stream, I'm going to give you some nuggets and things you can take away and use. So I'm going to share with you who I'm trying to talk to and what I'm talking about. So let me first, of course, give you this first bit of the news you need to know. The Basics and Beyond class is a 2.5-day workshop happening in Atlanta at the Pinnacle Training Center just north of Atlanta Airport. And this event is coming up this month. So when is it happening? It's happening 24th and 26th. We're going to start around 12:30 on the 24th. We'll wrap it around 3 o'clock on the 26th, get you back home for the weekend, and let you start implementing these strategies before the month ends, and so you can start building your business. Now, there's 3 areas that I'm going to be focusing on at this event, and I'm going to give you some specific nuggets that you can use. But before I get into that, I have to ask you a question that I'd like you to answer in the comments below. I'd like you to answer this question. If you are in sales, I'd like you to answer the question, how long have you been in the business? Because what I want to see in the comments, I want to see how many of you have been in the business 2 years or less, because one of the groups I'm trying to target with this, the people I'm looking to help, are people in one of 3 categories. Who are the people I'm looking for? Well, I'm looking for salespeople who are under 2 years in the business. So if you are under 2 years in the business, who should attend this? The people that should attend, look at the little graphic banner at the bottom here. If you're earning less than 10 grand a month, if you are selling less than 22 cars a month, or if you are less than 2 years in the business, then this workshop is for you. The 3 groups that I'm looking for, anybody under 2 years. So if you can tell me in the comments how long you've been in the business if you're in sales. If you're in a management position right now, my question for you is slightly different. If you're in management, how many people on your team do you have that qualify based on one of these 3 criteria? Do you have people less than 2 years in the business? Do you have people who are earning less than 10 grand a month? Or do you have people who are selling less than 22 cars a month? If anybody on your team fits these descriptions, that's who I built this workshop for, because these 3 minimum metrics are the things that I believe you can use to judge whether or not you're going to have sustained growth in this business. So if you're less than 2 years in the business, then you are in a market right now that is so fundamentally different than what it was 2 years prior to that, right? Or what will maybe happen in the next 2 years, that you have to build a solid foundation of prospecting, of marketing. You have to make sure you have the right mindset to make sure that you're doing the correct activities during your day. And so let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about, and I'll break these down for you and give you some actual actionable items right now. So the first thing I want to stress to you is that success leaves clues. This is one of my big mantras right now to help salespeople get themselves to the next level. Success leaves clues. Anyone who's accomplished anything of any significance, anyone who's done anything of any consistent level of success, they did it through a system that gave them those continuous results. What I'm saying to you is systems can be learned. Systems can be learned. So you have to start by asking yourself, am I following systems? Am I following systems? Am I doing things consistent with success? Because success leaves clues. And if you can look for and learn the systems of successful people, you can plug yourself into that system and start to replicate their success. So I'm encouraging you right now to ask the question, am I building systems? Don't just ask, am I selling cars? Ask the question, am I building systems? Am I following systems? Because anybody can be an accidental success, right? You can be an accidental success. I can be an accidental success. Anyone can hit a home run occasionally. The real question is, am I building systems that allow me to consistently replicate, duplicate, and maximize my current success. So if you are selling less than 22 cars a month, here's my thing. I really believe you have broken systems. Any salesperson not averaging 22 cars a month is at least ineffective part of the time they're at the dealership. Why? Why do I say that? Because almost all of you are scheduled for at least 22 days a month at the dealership. If you're in sales, you've got 22 work days that you're there. So if you're there for 8 to 10 hours a day and you are not systematically selling a car a day, then there are systems that are missing or broken at your dealership or in your processes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step into a time machine with you and I'm going to show you what are the systems you need to develop so that you can be consistently successful. So here's what I also want to share with you. And by the way, just as a side note, if you are a current Salescology client, check this out. If you're a current Salescology client, look at the bottom here. Current Salescology client, I'm giving away a free ticket to this event for all of my current Salescology clients. If you're on Salescology, you get a free ticket. So if you're watching this and you are a current Salescology client, reach out to us on our team and let us know you want to make sure you're redeeming your coupon code to get your free ticket to send somebody to the event, because current Salescology clients get a free ticket. The next thing I want to stress to you is fundamentals and principles. They don't care how long you've sold for. Fundamentals and principles are like a recipe. They're like a math formula. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your personality. It doesn't matter, your experience level. Certain formulas just work. They produce results on a predictable manner. So if you follow certain formulas, if you follow certain steps, you can be consistently successful. At the 2.5 days, what I'm going to do for you is teach you the formulas that you need to follow. There's certain systematic things you need to do to build your business. So what are we talking about? We're talking about things like mindset, marketing and branding, and the mechanics that you have to develop. High producers, top performers have developed a certain mindset. They look at their day, they look at their customer, they look at their opportunities differently. And how you view things determines how you do things. How you view things determines how you do things. So if you don't have the right mindset, if you're not coming to work with the right mindset, focus, the right attitude, the right game plan, every single day, you are leaving not only money on the table and opportunities on the table, you're leaving the compounded benefit of that opportunity on the table. You're leaving behind the compounded benefit. So you have to have the right mindset. The goal is not simply to sell a car. The goal is to build a system that allows me to sell a car and scale the sale so I can get multiplied sales from every individual sale. This is how high performers continue to grow and sustain their business independent of a recession, independent of what's happening around them. So I want to encourage you, if you are watching this and you say, do I have formulas? Am I following the steps? If you're currently listening and you're currently selling less than 22 cars a month, if you're currently making less than 10 grand a month, if you are under 2 years in the business, please, my friend, let me help you. I want to teach you how to build a sustainable business by going beyond the basics, right? We're going to give you foundation, but we're going to show you how to scale it, because high performers scale the sale. They don't just sell a car one time and hope to catch another good up or another good opportunity. They build a foundation that allows them to secure long-term success through repeats, referrals, and generational sales. So some of you, for example, right now, you're transactional in your mindset. You're transactional in mindset. You're thinking about how to close a deal and make a certain amount of money off of one sale. But you need to move from transactional into relational mindset. And then from relational mindset, you need to move into a generational mindset, which means you now start thinking about not just this one opportunity, but how can I leverage this one opportunity to create multiplied new leads for me? So we're talking about mindset. That obviously leads into marketing and branding. If you are in the business and you're selling less than 22 cars, if you are making less than 10 grand, or if you have only been in the business for 2 years, there's a really good chance you do not have a fully developed marketing and branding strategy, which means you're still dependent on the dealership to generate leads for you. Management, if you're watching this and you have people that are sitting around waiting for that good opportunity to walk in the door, please let me equip them with the marketing and branding strategies they need in order for them to be sustainably successful, regardless of what the economics are, regardless of what the political climate will be. You need to know this. There are people who will outsell you regardless if it's rain or shine. They'll outsell you no matter who's in the office. They'll outsell you regardless of what gas prices are. How do they do that? because they market themselves and they branded themselves as the go-to person. If you do not have a compelling marketing message and a resonating brand with your marketplace, you are leaving money on the table. You're coming to work and working those 10 or 12-hour days without creating residual benefit. And I want to show you how to do that. So we're talking about the fact that success leaves clues. We're talking about the fact that the fundamentals are like a formula. It doesn't matter who you are. When you plug in the math formula, 2 + 2 is 4, regardless of how old you are or how long you've been selling cars. And what I want to share with you next is I want to share with you that everyone that has gone before you is either a warning or an example. You see, the beautiful thing about what I get to do and what I'm going to do for you is I have seen all the examples and I've seen all the warnings. So you get to get a shortcut, if you will. You get to get a kind of a hack on how to build this business, because you don't have to learn through the school of hard knocks. You don't have to learn through your own personal experience, because there is a way to do this business that is hard. And there's a way to do this business where you follow other people's mistakes so you don't make them, right? You learn from what others have done who've gone before you, and you get to figure out what to do to make it easier for you. And that's the thing I want to make sure that I stress for all of you. So keep in mind, again, if you are a current Sellcology store, you have a free ticket. Current Sellcology dealers, you have a free ticket. Please use the information below to request your ticket so you can send somebody to this event. The event is happening August 24th and 26th here in Atlanta, just north of the Atlanta airport, 35 minutes, at our Pinnacle Training Center. The Pinnacle Training Center is a place where I host classes on all kinds of things. This one is a 2.5-day Beyond the Basics class, but we have finance training there. We have service advisor training there. We have lead management and BDC training there. We have training classes for all topics, management included, to help you grow and protect what you're building. But I want to share something with you, again, going back to this philosophy that I'm talking about everybody is an example or a warning. Let me stress this to you. I've been in 7 countries, 3 continents, and in thousands of dealerships over the career path that I've had, thousands of them. And what that gives me is perspective. Imagine for a moment if you could step into a time machine and go back to the very beginning that you sold cars. Knowing everything you know now, would you do things different? The likelihood is yes. But I'm going to take you through a different time machine. So you're going to get to go in a time machine with me. And I'm going to answer the fundamental question I get asked all the time. John, knowing what you now know and everything that you've seen, if you started selling cars right now, today, in this market right now, what would you do different? How would you approach building your business? I'm going to walk you through the path of what I've seen on thousands of salespeople and tens of thousands of salespeople, thousands of dealerships across the world, 7 countries and 3 continents. I've seen a few things. And so if you will allow me to pour into you for 2.5 days at this event, it's coming up again, like I said, it's August 24th and 26th here in Atlanta, right? It's a 2.5-day event. We're starting 12:30 in the afternoon on the 24th. We're ending around 3 o'clock on the 26th. Enough time for you to get home and enjoy your weekend and put some stuff to work at the end of the month. But this is the basics and beyond. Many of you right now are not currently selling 22 cars per month. Imagine what your income would look like if you were. What would your income be if you were selling 22 cars a month? Some of you are not yet even making 10 grand a month, right? You're not even cracking 10 grand a month. And this economy, in this market, what's going on? What's holding you back? Do you know? Do you know exactly what you need to do different? I want to share it with you. I want to teach you that. So we're going to be covering a couple of things. What are we covering? We're covering the 3 main areas: your mindset, marketing and branding, and then the mechanics and methods you need to develop so that you can be consistently successful. I asked you to put in the comments, have you been less than 2 years in the business? How long have you been in the business? Put it in the comments. I want to know. Are you making less than 10 grand a month? Raise your hand and say, John, I'm not selling 22 cars a month, or I'm not making 10 grand a month right now. Raise your hand and say, hey, tag one of your managers, tag a manager, tag a GM and say, hey, boss, can I go to this class? I want to get in the time machine with Jonathan. I want to go backwards in time, and I want to ask the question, knowing everything this guy knows, having been on 3 continents, 7 countries, and thousands of dealerships, what should I be doing to secure my financial future? Some of you right now are making good money. You're making good money, but the market's shifting. The market is changing. You know it's changing. It's going to change. And when it does, are you going to pivot right? Do you have the systems? Do you have the formulas? Do you have the mechanics? Do you have the methods? Do you have the mindset? Do you have the marketing? Do you have what you need to be successful when everything shifts. If you're in management right now and you've got some people on your team and you're like, this person is worth investing in. This is the kind of person I want to see really succeed long-term. I want this person to win in this business. If you want them to win, I want you to invite them to this event, right? The basics will be on August 24th and 26th. Have them come to this event. If they're selling less than 22 cars, that means they are at a dealership for 8 to 10 hours in a day and they're not averaging a car a day yet. If that's the case, they need to learn some systems. They need to learn some mechanics. So I want to encourage you to come to the event. I'm going to have a fantastic time. I'm looking for all of my Psychology stores to come. So my Psychology clients, keep in mind, you got a free ticket, Psychology stores. So if you're on Psychology University platform, you got a free ticket, contact us. The information is right there. Contact us and get your coupon code so you can send somebody for free to the class. If you're not currently a Psychology store, enroll. Come on your own accord. Get your manager to sponsor you. Find a way to get there. Let me show you how to unlock your potential and how to grow your business by creating raving fan advocates. How do you grow your business? Raving fan advocates. How do you scale your business? Raving fan advocates, referrals, self-generation, social media strategies. How do you build a book of business? Find out all of this stuff and more at the Pinnacle Training Center, August 24th and 26th. I'm excited to have you guys come. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the event. I'm going to check out some of the comments. Again, drop in the comments. Raise your hand if you're not yet at 22 cars. Raise your hand if you're not yet making 10 grand. Raise your hand if you're less than 2 years in the business. Tag a manager. Ask them if you can come to this. I'd love to see you there. All right, listen, appreciate you guys. Wanted to make sure you were aware of this, and I will see everybody online and hopefully at the Pinnacle Training Center real soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.